Back to my editorial, top of the hour. My statement is, voters are not willing to pay to fix climate change. And they're certainly not willing to fix climate change whilst the world's largest carbon polluter, China, does absolutely nothing about it. Let's bring in Climate Depot's Marc Morano. Look, I'm making 2 points, Mark. Number one, voters won't pay more for energy now to fix a problem down the road. Number two, voters will not sacrifice now whilst China does nothing. Where am I going? Are you with me on this?
Yeah, yes, completely. I mean, from a political, economic, climate, and cost-benefit analysis point of view, you are 100% correct. What's happened now is we've seen the face of climate tax failure, and it is French President Emmanuel Macron. He is the face. He has made himself the poster boy of the UN Paris Climate Pact, and he's told middle-class French who are facing skyrocketing fuel taxes from his policies that they can wait for public transit, that they can carpool, and that basically they have to be in it to save the world because what they're doing is noble, and none of the French are buying it, and that rebellion is spreading.
You know, in my editorial at the top of the hour, I quoted from the Wall Street Journal today an editorial about climate change and the French. And the last few lines noted that NASA, North American Space Administration, using satellites, shows that the world is a lot greener than it used to be because there's more carbon, and that's plant food. I mean, that's kind of the other side of climate change, isn't it? Is that a positive side to it?
Oh, absolutely. Peer-reviewed studies are showing the greening of planet Earth, including deserts. And in my book, The Politically Incorrect Guide to Climate Change, I quote Nobel Prize-winning scientists and others who say that the Earth is in a CO2 famine right now. In other words, CO2 historically, geologically speaking, is low. So the idea that the United Nations can say we face a catastrophe 100 years from now unless we sacrifice today, no one buys it scientifically, no one buys it instinctively on a human level. And we have protests now in Canada. We have Brazil canceling the UN Climate Summit. A lot of this credit goes to President Donald Trump, who by pulling the United States out of the Paris Agreement is causing a domino effect. At this summit I just got back from in Poland, the UN Climate Summit, we had Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Russia, all refusing to sign on to this alarmist UN report, which came out in October. So this is major progress for people who care about energy security and sovereignty and are against the UN agenda.
Now, I take no position. I'm not, in my editorials, I'm not arguing that, yes, climate change exists, yes, it's human. I don't take a position. But what's your position? Is the planet warming? And if it is warming, is it the result of human activity? Where do you come from?
It's very simple. Humans can impact the climate, but any impact they've had is indistinguishable from the past. In other words, you cannot distinguish a human concept. I have chapters in my book on this, quoting former United Nations scientists who've now turned against the UN, making that point. And I would go further. Even if you believe we face a climate crisis, if we had to rely on the United Nations and EPA through climate taxes to save us, we would all be doomed because they admit that their solutions would have no impact on the climate. The UN Paris Agreement was supposed to save us. The UN now freely admits that just 3 years from that is completely inadequate according to their latest predictions. So this is a political and economic movement. It has nothing to do with the actual climate. They're talking about central transformation. That's what the UN climate chief has actually said. We seek a centralized transformation that will make life different. This isn't about the climate. It's about imposing their agenda using a climate scare on people. And as we've seen in France, where they're the most advanced in terms of implementing this policy, they're utterly failing.
Marc Morano, thank you very much for being with us today.
Thank you.
One day, maybe, I'll see your opinions and your studies quoted in the mainstream media, but it might be a long way away. Got that?
Okay.
Thanks, Mark. See you soon.
I consider you mainstream, Stuart. Thanks.